Okay, if you remember where we were, he'd just seen the two real rabbits, right? And they just left, and the boy came and took him home. Weeks passed, and the little rabbit grew very old and shabby, but the boy loved him just as much. He loved him so hard that he loved all his whiskers off, and the pink lining to his ears turned gray, and his brown spots faded. He even began to lose his shape, and he scarcely looked like a rabbit anymore, except to the boy. To him, he was always beautiful, and that was all that the little rabbit cared about. He didn't mind how he looked to other people, because the nursery magic had made him real. And when you are real, shabbiness doesn't matter. And then one day the boy was ill. His face grew very flushed, and he talked in his sleep, and his little body was so hot that it burned the rabbit when he held him close. Strange people came and went in the nursery, and a light burned all night. And through it all, the little Velveteen Rabbit lay there, hidden from sight under the bedclothes, and he never stirred, for he was afraid that if he found him, someone might take him away, and he knew that the boy needed him. It was a long, weary time, for the little boy was too ill to play, and the little rabbit found it rather dull, with nothing to do all day long. But he snuggled down patiently and looked forward to the time when the boy would be well again, and they would go out in the garden amongst the flowers and the butterflies and play splendid games in the raspberry thicket like they used to. All sorts of delightful things he planned, and while the boy lay half asleep, he crept up close to the pillow and whispered in his ear. And presently the fever turned and the boy got better. He was able to sit up in bed and look at picture books, and while the little rabbit cuddled close at his side, and one day they let him get up and dress. It was a bright sunny morning, and the windows stood wide open. They had carried the boy out onto the balcony, wrapped in a shawl, and the little rabbit lay tangled up in the bedclothes, thinking. The boy was going to Seaside tomorrow. Everything was arranged, and now it was only remained to carry out the doctor's orders. They talked about it all while the little rabbit lay under the bedclothes, with just his head poking out, and listened. The room was to be disinfected, and all the books and toys that the boy had played with in the bed must be burned. Hurrah, thought the little rabbit, tomorrow we shall go to the seaside. For the boy had often talked of the seaside, and he wanted very much to see the big waves coming in. There's another picture of the rabbit. Okay. And the tiny crabs and the sand castles. Just then Nana caught sight of him. How about this old bunny? She asked. That? Said the doctor. Why, it is a mass of scarlet fever germs. Burn it at once. What? Nonsense. Get him a new one. He mustn't have that any more. And so the little rabbit was put into a sack with old picture books and a lot of rubbish and carried out to the end of the garden behind the fowl house. That would be like the chicken house. And rubbish is trash. That was a fine place to make a bonfire, only the gardener was too busy just then to attend to it. He had the potatoes to dig and the green peas to gather, but next morning he promised to come quite early and burn the whole lot. Whew, I don't know about you, but that's kind of scary. If I was the rabbit, I wouldn't want to be burned the next day. So I'm going to end it there and tune in again next time. Love you. Bye.